What it do, y'all? It's May, and I'm here with the long anticipated full moon in Scorpio flower moon um, vibe session. Okay, so I'm recording well beyond, like, we're closer to the new moon in Taurus than we are the full moon in Scorpio, but I'm still here, and I still decided to show up. So let's get into it. The full moon in Scorpio occurred on Friday, May 1st at 11 degrees. Okay, Friday, for those of us that know, is ruled by Venus. Okay, so just off that already, we are already tapping into the Taurus and Scorpio axis, the which is called the financial axis. In Taurus, mantra is I have, and Scorpio's mantra is I desire. We'll get into that. Okay. This full moon is directing us on all how to properly use the element of fire. Okay. Every single card that I pulled for the theme, first of all, has the color scheme of fire. There's yellows and reds, and then there's actual fire. You see this burning house back there? And then you see this bonfire right here. And then we see the red, yellow, and orange of this. And we see clouds, which could also be like smoke. And then this literally is the fire element, and she's covered with the fire. So yes, off the bat, the energy of this full moon is teaching us how to properly utilize the element of fire, which I think is really cool. Chakras that are being highlighted, obviously the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra. Okay, the financial axis has to do with the root chakra. Your finances is a root chakra subject. Okay, subject might not be the best word, but so we got that. Also wanted to note that we have the Taurus Scorpio axis. Wanted to note that the energy of all the fixed signs showed up as well, because we have Scorpio obviously, and then we have Taurus showing up because the sun's in Taurus obviously, and then the full moon occurred on a Friday, a day ruled by Venus. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Um, so we have Scorpio, we have Taurus, and then it was at the full moon occurred at 11 degrees, which is an Aquarian degree. So that's three of them. And then this card, it is associated with the sun, and the sun is currently in Taurus. So we've already stated that, but Leo rules the sun. So we have a Leonian influence as well. So I thought that was neat to note. Fixed signs are all about maintaining. And if, I don't know if anybody that's going to watch this is into or has studied at all Hindu culture, but it just reminds me of, because I know there's a Trimurti and the Tridevi. The Tridevi is the women, and the Trimurti is the men. It just reminds me of Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the sustainer, Shiva is the destroyer. So Vishnu, the energy of Vishnu, and then the women are, I just wrote it down the other day actually. The female counterparts to that are Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati Durga. Okay, so Lakshmi, Vishnu and Lakshmi have to deal with sustaining energy. Okay, that's just one example. Of of deities that deal with sustaining, which is the same energy as the fixed signs. They are the sustainers. They sustain what was started by the cardinal signs, and then the mutable signs come and clean up, rearrange, or destroy, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Now let's get into the theme. We have Spark of Life. It says, "Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends upon." Then we have St. John's Wort, this card with the burning house in the corner. I don't know. I feel like the burning house is symbolic for a lot of our internal foundations are just being burnt to a crisp. You know, you got to have the fire to be the phoenix, you know. But yes, the collective's um, concept of home, connection, and relationship to home is obliterated. Like, it's gone. And that is for good reason. Now, of course, that's going to leave people in many different states of being. And that's why we are being granted the opportunity to learn how to acclimate ourselves with the element of fire. The key word on this is radiance. And then we have midheaven. The midheaven is, they say, it's like the most public point of the natal chart. It is in the 10th house. And the key word of this is pinnacle. And then we have unapologetic. Heck yeah. It says, "Be yourself. Release societal expectations. Be a mess." So with that being said, everything's on fire, guys. Okay. Some people are screaming. Some people are streaming. Okay. What is the saying? They say life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond. This is kind of one of those situations. Okay. Everything that is no longer valuable to the enhancement of humanity is being burnt to a crisp, regardless of how anybody feels about it. So that's the 10%. So we are all being granted the opportunity to properly utilize this 90%, this hypothetical 90% of how to interact with life. Okay, I'm gonna grab my books. Got my books. So let's read about St. John's Wort, Radiance. But before I read, let's just look at the symbolism. We have two rabbits. I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting images of rabbits in my, what are rabbits the symbolism for? We can look that up too. Then we have the deer, gentle as a deer. I know rabbits mate a lot. I'm just sharing what I know. And then we have, we have this lady with her horn. It looks like she's running, just without a care in the world. Like, yeah, the house is on fire, but I have all this space to run and be free. Which I feel like that embodies, radiance, just being yourself. And then we have the sun, the sun card in tarot. The sun card in tarot deals with, they say it's the happiest card of the tarot. So happiness, joy, childlike innocence. And then the sun is a luminary. And when you think about it in astrology, it's your vitality, your personality, the things that help you feel alive, is the way that I like to describe it. There's so many other ways to describe it. So, yes, the sun. And the sun is currently in Taurus. So, collectively, we are all vitalizing, revitalizing, or getting vitalized by that first layer of materialization. Taurus's mantra is I have. So, everything then burnt down. What do I have now? And what can I do with that? That's what we're seeking vitalization of. What do I do now with what I have? Everything done burnt up in Aries season. So now it's Taurus season and we have to make do with what we got. All right. What does it say? Upright. Joy, warmth, resilience, happiness, understanding, manifestation, spiritual power, protection. Okay. Reversed. We have unhappiness, avoidance, running away, escape, not walking your truth. Which goes in with the spark of life. Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends upon. Guidance. The Midsummer Goddess celebrates the multifaceted elements of life in a state of joyous abundance, reminding us that the wellspring of true wealth and healing is within. St. John's Wort is here to remind you to cultivate practices deep within yourself to experience this enlightening truth. Avoidance and distraction from this great knowing are unconscious habits that build up and manifest as scarcity, fear, and low moods that inhibit you from walking your truth. St. John's Wort grants us the spiritual courage of fire needed to navigate the death of the old self. Okay? Right now, you might be standing in the leftovers of your house burning down, whether literal or spiritual. Literal, spiritual, figurative, whatever. And my heart goes out to you if you have experienced something like your actual house burning down. Okay. But we all perpetuate a very pure, powerful love from the Most High Mother and the Most High Father. So I say that to say that release is going to be the start of your new abundance, your new abundant timeline. As long as you're not sinking into hopelessness and despair. Nobody said you can't feel how you feel, but don't stay stuck there. And don't run away either to make it seem like you're doing something too. I think that's something to be said. Don't be doing stuff just to look like you're doing stuff. Like, don't do stuff as a distraction. But also don't just sit still either. We got to find the thin line between that. All right. And then we have midheaven, the pinnacle. And like I said, this just looks like a meter. I don't know. And then we have, to me, it just looks like the top of a castle in the clouds, But it also could just be the smoke of this house. And this could just be like the top point. Like, well, my house is burning down, and maybe you were at the top of your house when it all started. Who knows? Light flows down through us. So you could be allowing the transformation to go. You have allowed the light to travel down through you, and the light has now reached. Is reached the proper word? Because look, me and English were like this, but me and English we're kind of like this now. It's neither here nor there. But, the light has finally reached the lower chakras of the collective. And we are now dealing with the transformation that the light has come. Light meaning information, like what people like to call downloads or channeled messages and things like that. That's all that I'm talking about, the light flowing through. All these downloads have finally trickled down into the material world. We're in Taurus season. A material is the materialization after the fire. It's that first materialization though. So you may have, the fire may not have taken that much, or the fire took everything. We're all working from different points. But this is the theme. The theme of this full moon in Scorpio is, regardless of what the fire did or didn't take, don't let it distract you. You are not without anything. Everything you need is within you. Midheaven. The midheaven contains clues about how your family trained you to be visible in the world, your relationship to other people's authority, and how you step into your own personal authority. It describes the future mountaintop, the pinnacle of your work in the world. The midheaven is the highest point of the chart, where the sun would be at midday. This most public visible point of your chart acts like the flagpole on top of your personal castle. Action. Inventory your professional reputation and ask what you can do to strengthen it. Update your website. Look at your definition of success and make sure it is your own. Actually makes you happy and is not one you have inherited from your family or mentors. Think about the training you've received from these authorities and notice where it still serves you and where you need to release their preconceptions and step into something bigger. You may need to go back to hidden dreams or awaken an ambition that may not make sense to anybody else. If you choose not to seek your sense of accomplishment as reflected in the outside world, your midheaven can speak of a quieter sense of personal authority. This is your life. Define the mountaintop for yourself. Take a next step in that direction. Challenges, traditions, other people's expectation, or your family history may be complementary to your idea of your own potential, or they may be hurdles to overcome as you find your true path. Gift. Underneath all worldly sense of ambition is a soul's longing to live out its potential. Listen to the call. Think about the training you've received from these authorities and notice where it still serves you and where you need to release their preconceptions and step into something bigger. We are in the waning phase of the moon, so definitely releasing preconceptions is big. Okay, we got it. Unapologetic. Be who you are. Be yourself. Release societal expectations. Be a mess. Okay? So, I would say the theme is build a healthy relationship with fire. Okay? Because yes, on the outside, fire may seem to just destroy things, make things hot, make things smoky. Okay? But there's this beautiful thing called wind, and that's all going to blow away eventually. And then it's all going to have to settle. Okay? We are in the settlement. We are in that first settlement after the first fresh fire of Aries. Okay? The theme is build a proper relationship with fire so you don't just see it as negative. Okay? Because it's one of the key elements that keeps our reality going. Okay? On a literal and figurative level. Okay? Just think about the cavemen or whoever they say discovered fire. I'm not here to debate with people. I wasn't there. As one of my favorite people always says, who knows? I wasn't there. And then I like to say, who knows? Maybe he was and you just forgot. But that's just the fun of it all. All right, let's get into it. Oh, and I wanted to speak more about fire too. We'll get into it. But the reading, I also picked up on the energy of all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay. I've already spoke on Aries. Look now, we still have a decent amount of planets in Aries. We definitely still have Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. I know for sure those three are still in Aries. Now, as far as the other ones, Mars might be in Aries still. I'm not sure. Mercury might be in Aries still. I'm not sure. I think Mercury's in Taurus now. So again, the materialization, the taking inventory. What do I have now that my literal or figurative spiritual house has burned down? What do I have left? Like it said in Pinnacle, we may have to rediscover hidden dreams. We may have to dig deep and find out our true hidden dreams, or we might have to reawaken a certain ambition that we had that may have been put to sleep. So, the full moon's energy is directly affecting our collective vision of what true and timely independence actually looks like. Okay, true meaning proper and not just made up, and timely meaning it fits with the time that we're in. The time that we're in, we are seeing lots of destruction by fire, misguided passion. Okay, we have Neptune, and like I was just saying, Neptune is definitely still in Aries. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Okay, stay with me now. The sun is currently in a sign ruled by Venus. So we are taking that and extracting. What sign is Venus in right now? I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But I know the sun is in a sign ruled by Venus, so I can still speak on it. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, meaning let's say Venus is the spiritual. I mean, Venus is the physical and Neptune's the spiritual. Now, granted, Neptune is associated with spirituality and it's generational. So you can think of it like that too. It's just like, is the individual sub collectives and then there's the overall like global collective. So you can think of it in a couple different ways, however it makes sense. But it's the higher octave. So it means we are extracting the common themes and working directly with those. So, with that being said, collectively we are taking these things from all these sub collectives, all of these different social groups, and we are extracting the things and what is common amongst the whole global collective, all 8 billion of us, however many people there are on the planet. We are extracting all of these themes and coming up with what does a healthy interdependent individual look like, considering everything that's happened up until this point and everything that we know up until this point. What does that look like? That's what's being burned down. What's no longer, what has been proven through every level, the energetic level, the physical level, the financial level, every level. Okay, again, we live in such a divine, awesome reality to where it's just beautiful to see. One second. So, if our theme is to build a healthy relationship with fire, which on an individual level relates to our passions and our drive and things. Think like your Mars sign, maybe your Pluto sign a little bit too. What houses? I don't know. I'll get into it in another video. But think like your Mars and your Pluto sign. How can you better utilize that energy? And I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever watched people like, what's it called? Use a paint gun to like make pictures. That's kind of what this is reminding me. Like, what do I got? I got this paint gun. What am I going to do with it? Like, again, the theme. Everything has burned down. Everything I don't need is gone now. So, what do I do with what I have? Make a paintball gun picture. Get creative with it. Because again, Neptune is creativity. It deals with spirituality, creativity, illusions, liquids, things like that. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I've been very, very in a much full moon in Scorpio vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Like, heavy on the releasing the bull crap and the negativity, because WTF. Anyways, Neptune. All these glares. I broke my phone screen. Whatever. Neptune, like a cool blue pearl floating in an inky sea, this planet symbolizes how we float in the ocean of the collective conscious. Neptune, the modern ruler of Pisces, takes about 165 years to tour the zodiac. On a practical level, it signals water, liquid, oils, and art supplies. On a challenging day, it shows how we avoid gritty reality, whether we escape through our imagination, addictions, or martyrdom. On a lovely day, Neptune speaks of spirituality, imagination, and psychic perception. I always love when words that I said are repeated. Because I promise you, like, I get on here with the intention to speak on what I said, but that's about it. Like, yeah, I take my notes, but I still kind of just wing it. So it's just beautiful. But, like, it was just like, you can't be a radiant person. You can't share your light with people. You can't share your drive and your ambition with people if you're always F word running away. Okay? I do this with my daughter. My sweet thing. Okay? Anytime she perceives that or she gets caught doing something that she knows that we're working on, the little girl runs away. And I'm like, girl, that's not gonna fix it. That's not gonna fix it. Face it. Because it's not, the problem wouldn't even be that big of a problem if you didn't run away. Because now you running away is the distraction from what it actually was. Y'all, stop running away. Just face it. Like me. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was up to like 4 a.m. this morning just feeling how I feel. And it's not the greatest F word feeling, and I've been feeling this way for a while, like for a couple days, for like about a week. And it's like I haven't been able to shake it because I'm not supposed to. I am releasing, and I've been doing that. Goodness gracious. So we can utilize that overwhelming energy in better ways. Anyways, action. Pray, meditate, intuit, use your divination. Rest and dream. Activate the right side of your brain and step out of sequential logic into a sense of the infinite. Engage ceremony and ritual. Find a dream or vision and bring it back here to manifest. We've been getting the Neptune energy a lot in just the vibe sessions overall. I would say at least in the past 2, maybe even 3, there has just been so much talk about Neptune. Okay, so this Neptune is how the energy of the full moon is directly affecting us. So the full moon, the energy of this full moon, flower moon 2026, is changing, is altering our psychic perception. It is altering our vision because we are just at a point where we know too much to keep allowing certain things to keep going on. So literally, on a mass level, on a collective level, so many of us are choosing to open our eye and see it, even if it hurts, even if it's sad, even if we cry for a week and no F word, no why. Because the house done burned down. And we're taking inventory of what we got, and we're activating the right side of our brain, and we're just going to get creative with it. Says, because Neptune invokes both intuition and imagination, it can blur the boundaries between the two. It's all too easy to believe that what you want or what you're afraid of is in fact reality, which can make it easy for others to manipulate you by playing to your hopes and fears. Take each step with care. Working with Neptune is like walking in the fog. You can see the present moment clearly. It's just the future and the past that get lost in the hopes and fears. And didn't we get that as the theme? Okay. I feel like this message is directly speaking on the government. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Shavi Zane, and she always says, the powers that were. Okay, I feel like this is directly speaking on the powers that were when it says, it's all too easy to believe that what you want or what you are afraid of is in fact reality, which can make it easy for others to manipulate you by playing to your hopes and fears. We got the card, the Spark of Life card, that literally told us we have within us. I'm just trying to look for the card. Here it is. We have within us whatever we need to get through and fulfill our destiny. Our destiny as humanity is to not to die off. It's not to be caught up in some. No, there are other mechanisms that play out. Okay, that's another video for another day. But overall, that's where it comes down to your vision. It says, don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends upon. Okay. So don't let the powers that were continue to manipulate you and take from you what is being beautifully given to all of us. The more that we choose to allow our vision to change, the more that we choose to allow our inner eye to open, the more that we wipe the crust up off that inner eye and choose to see. Yeah. And the thing about it, the powers that were, they have this information as well. So, yes, they are manipulating the media to play to so many different sub collectives and overall collectives' hopes and fears. That's why we don't feed into it. You just observe and don't absorb. Thank you. That has been a huge, beautiful life lesson for me. Observe, take note, and keep it pushing. We're not going to absorb it like it's our problem. We literally physically can't do that. We literally physically cannot be 100% engaged with everything. We can literally only be engaged with our present moment. If the world feels too harsh, or if you're feeling easily overwhelmed, tend to your sensitive antenna. Pray rather than worry. Man. You know, and even if you're not religious, think of it in different ways. Affirm what it is, regardless of what they're trying to show you. Okay? I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. My third eye and my real eyes are clear enough to see what's right and what's true for me. Okay? We're going to affirm life. Okay? Jupiter is in Cancer. Cancer is the mother. Okay? We are affirming life for everybody, baby. Because why? I'm a mother. I'm going to take care of all of you babies. Now, not all of y'all want it. That's okay. But one thing that y'all not going to be able to say is, didn't nobody care. Because if anybody cares, it's over me. It's me on my little bitty corner of the internet and Perlinwood channel. I care. Okay? And we're going to be abundantly blessed for how much we choose to take care of those that need and want to be taken care of. I'm going to be too hype on here. Affirm what's real. Don't matter if it ain't here yet. That's why we have cycles and we believe in them. We don't believe in them, we trust in them and we respect them and we engage with them. Neptune speaks of our psychic permeability, encouraging us to soak up our surroundings. Use that to your advantage and choose your surroundings carefully. Meditate with a group, tune into the trees, the earth beneath, the sky above, or sacred sites. Immerse yourself in whatever feeds you. Challenge. Neptune overwhelm can turn acceptance into passivity, imagination into illusion, sensitivity and the hunger for spirit into addiction. Watch for water damage. Okay. Don't be trying to use too much water to put out these fires, because you're going to get dehydrated, baby. Just let it burn. Okay. We don't need the water, let that MF burn, baby. Just let it burn. Don't waste your precious inner waters trying to put out these worldly fires. Because these worldly fires, baby, I promise you, we need them. Gift. Allow yourself to float, to swim in that great ocean of the collective consciousness. Soak up the presence of divine soul. There is no separation between you and all sentient beings, between you and the realm of gods and spirits. Thank you. And now let's move on to the next. We have, how is the energy of the full moon in Scorpio 2026 working in our advantage? And bada boom, bada bing, we have the ninth house. Okay. This is where that Sagittarius energy comes in. Why? Because Sagittarius is the ruler of the ninth house. The ninth house is associated with higher education, higher learning, belief systems, philosophies, and things like that. The key word on here is exploration. So, as we choose to take the time to just swim in the collective conscious, don't get hooked in, don't get overwhelmed, float. Because that's one thing, rest in peace to my dad. He taught me that. I was in the pool, I was struggling, whatever. He's like, you have to become one with the water. He always had his analogies. He said I had to become one with the water. And, when I was grateful for that because it did help me, and I've just kind of applied it to so many things else in life. So now that we're swimming in the collective consciousness and we've become one with the collective consciousness, we're learning to observe rather than absorb, and we're just out here floating and doing our thing. That's transportation to anywhere we want to go. And that opens up so many avenues for us to explore things that we've always wanted to explore, which I think is F word awesome. Okay, but let my girl Heather Roan Robbins tell you more. If your chart were a village map, the ninth house would contain the international airport, university, or broadcasting tower. The ninth house is the original World Wide Web. It speaks of how we expand our world through official and unofficial higher education, travel, international understanding, philosophy, and global communication. All bad. So I was a little correct. I love when that happens. Anyways, I've been studying astrology for about 12, 13 years now, and I'm still not super professional or traditional with it. It's literally just been me. What do y'all call it now? My special interests, my hyper focus interests. Like, that's what I did for years. I just get astrology books, read about astrology. That was my thing. Still not the most professional with it. So I'm just glad when I get confirmations that all my years of study matter. Anyways, action. Go exploring. Step out of your comfort zone to see what lies beyond the boundaries of your familiar bubble. Which goes back to the theme. Be unapologetic. Who cares what people say? Who cares? Who cares if you yesterday you was a devout Baptist Christian, now today you want to go study Hindu? Who cares? Who cares? There's something for everybody somewhere. And we're all human, so we all damn near saying the same thing. We just all got our own, some of us say it in italic, some of us say it in bold, some of us say it in Arial, some of us say it in Times New Roman. It just is what it is. Y'all feel me? Step into a new country, try on a fresh attitude, and immerse yourself in an unusual body of knowledge or a spiritual philosophy you did not grow up with. It is hard to see your bubble, the lens for your experience, until you step outside of it, look back at your socioeconomic milieu, family and friends, and education, and confront any unconscious assumptions that your people, your class, your culture is all there is. You are being charged. I hope that's what it says. No, I don't have a pet. I just have kids, and they have fun. Anyways, you are being charged to develop a truly diverse perspective and understand that real diversity in a, I don't know, perfect ecosystem or company builds resilience. I don't know if that's the right word. Push your unique boundaries. If you are an urban international traveler, you may be most stretched by small town life. Read the philosophy and spirituality from a far corner of the world. Once you've done all this work, share what you've learned with the world as a speaker, writer, traveler, teacher, or internet diva. Wake up the world. Oh. I ain't get no sleep cause of y'all. What? Y'all ain't get no sleep cause of me. What? Y'all ain't get no sleep cause of y'all. Where's the pans and the pots when you need them? Shout out to her, the original, one of the first few seasons of Bad Girls Club. Okay, I promise you. I stopped watching TV when I was 12 years old. So I'm aging myself. That season, that iconic pop culture moment probably happened when I was like 12, 13, or 14. So if that lets you know anything. But if you know what I'm talking about, you my people and I F with you. And even if you don't, I'm sure we can find something to be buddies over as well. Challenge. When you finally break through and can see the far horizons, it can be difficult to reconcile the allure of those infinite possibilities with the familiarity of the people close to you. Both are important. Gift. Widen your horizon and expand your world. Explore in your mind, body, and soul. Teach what you know. The world is waiting for you. Sheesh, that feels like a message to me. It's just been a recurring theme for me. All right, and now we of course got to get to how is the energy of this full moon in Scorpio challenging us? And we got dignified. Keyword being strength. Okay, and here we are in them clouds again. And then we have a staircase. And I don't know, this is purple? I don't know. So is this like a staircase to our crown chakra or something? The third eye? I don't know. I just like to look at the energy. And this is a number 13 card, a very divine feminine card. And then also strength. Is the death card 13 in tarot? And strength is 8? Because it's strength and justice that switch up. Anyways. Number 13, dignified. Dignified. It is a quality. An astrological quality. Okay. A planet, dignified. A planet is at its strongest when it is essentially or accidentally dignified in a sign or placement that aligns with its nature and adds strength. For example, Mars is its most Mars-like when in Scorpio or Aries, the two signs it rules, or in Capricorn, which is a strong sign of leadership. A dignified planet is like the soccer player who happens to be out in front and free in the exact right place to receive a pass. Action. Your voice matters. Trust that you are what's needed here at this time. Okay? Don't sink into hopelessness and despair. What did we say? Don't sink. Baby, swim. If you need help, get you a floaty. You are in your element and at the right place at the right time, so you have an advantage. We are in a very auspicious time to grow and develop as a collective humanity. Yes, we are. I don't give a what anybody has to say. Okay, so even if you and your individual situation from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it's advantageous, I just told you it's advantageous, okay? So what did it also say? You in your element, baby. So make do with that. Wherever you at. Whatever you have left after everything burnt down, I promise you that's enough, even if you don't think it is. So you have an advantage, but it's up to you to make a choice and run with the ball. Dodge the obstacles and look for the opportunities just beginning to emerge. Oh, Jesus. That must mean it makes sense. Have faith in yourself. You have what it takes, even if you don't know it yet. It is up to you to tap into your potential and find the resources within. Play to your strengths. Use your contacts. Sing the song that best fits your voice. Do so with humble respect for the process. This situation is strong enough for you to feel your potential without stepping on another person to get ahead. The wind is with you, but will not do the work for you. Take the lead, do your work, and bring your team along with you. Challenge. It may be tempting to take over. Yes, it is time for you to shine, but bring everyone along with you rather than dominate them, or you may be left high and dry once this game is over. People gonna remember that. Gift. For weeks, months, or lifetimes, you have prepared for this moment. The muscles you've built in body and soul, the understanding you have accrued are needed here at this time and place. So, as a challenge, don't make it all about you, okay? Because we did get the sun, okay? And we live in a solar system. So, your energy might be similar to that of the sun in whatever situation that you're in, okay? But you see what the sun does other than just be a big and light up the world, okay? It gives the plants nutrients. It gives us warmth. It gives us light. It gives us a sense of time, okay? So the sun, even in its simple rising and setting, it still provides. You know what I mean? So provide for those that are open to your provision. Don't hold back. Alrighty. Now we're reaching the end. The last thing. How do we best utilize the energies of this full moon in Scorpio, flower moon 2026 energies? And we got conjunction. Goodness gracious, we keep getting this. Just like the Neptune card. So the keyword is alliance, conjunction. That's one thing that I've told myself that I want to get back into, is just keeping up with major transits, but I'm not sure if there's any big conjunctions coming up. If there are, I'll do my best to try to post it. And then we also have passion flowers, surrender, which is what associated with Neptune and the moon. And you see the water? And these two owls. Owls are about wisdom and sight. They can see at night. So just off the bat, the fact that we got these two cards together, I would say surrender the idea of who you thought was your people and just let your actual people magnetize, like, come towards you. Okay? Don't chase the people that you think you're supposed to be around. Okay? Use that wisdom to just know what is truly for you and not just what has been passed down to you. Release societal expectations. Be unapologetic. Conjunction. Anytime two celestial bodies conjunct, meaning they dance close together, they first work together and blend meaning and purpose, then begin a new cycle of their relationship. The sun and moon conjunct at the new moon, but because the sun is overpoweringly huge, it has special rules. Planets are so tiny compared to the sun that when they are close, within 8 degrees of the sun, they seem to disappear or combust and lose individual power. But when planets exactly conjunct the sun, their strength merges and grows within the heart of the sun. The conjunction tells us we are stronger when we work together, as long as we don't disappear into another's flame. Okay, so that goes for leaders and those looking for leaders, mentors, whatever you want to call them. Okay, you are just as useful to the people that you are exchanging with. So just because you are a, let's say, student at the time, don't think that you don't have the same value as the teacher, because the teacher is teaching you something. The teacher wouldn't have that position if there wasn't anybody to learn. Okay, they wouldn't have nothing to teach if there wasn't nobody there to teach. You see what I'm saying? So don't sink into hopelessness and despair. Okay, it's that simple. Be grateful. Action. Co-conspire. Find people and allies who support your ideas, as this is not a situation in which to go it alone. Bring in someone with an extra skill to offer to your project. Find the best friend to discuss your concerns with, or spark off new partnership. Watch the energy build as you bounce ideas off another person. Just take care of your own energy fields and ideas in this process. If you have merged your energy with a partner, teacher, or coworker, or are considering notice what strengthens you and where you may need to step back and individuate. Okay, this is information for me to seal. Find your own paradigm and technique. It can be lovely to love someone with a sun-like personality, warm, expansive, though at times exhausting, but don't combust. If it's time to align your life with another's, think of the line from the poet Rilke. Love consists of this, that two solitudes protect and border and greet each other. Let this be a yoking of two or more equals, a partnership that works best when each brings gifts and challenges to the table. Challenge. Be wary of the relationships that ask you to shrink yourself to fit them and value the conjunction over individual growth. Okay. Gift. A conjunction can become greater than the sum of its parts. Now let's get into passion flower. Again, our vision is being cleansed. So everything that we used to think, we gotta let it go. Let it be water under the bridge. Hell, it don't even gotta be no goddamn bridge. Just let it go. And let the waters deal with it for you. Our vision is being cleansed. Now, I don't feel like it'll probably be cleansed probably during Cancer season, because that's the next water sign. But you get what I'm saying. Respect the process, trust the process, and engage with the process, and you don't have anything to worry about. Passion flower, upright, says sacrifice, surrender, choosing growth, trusting discernment, rituals of letting go. Bow, bow, bow. Reverse, deception, misguided intentions, deceiving opportunities, unexpected halt, bad judgment. Yikes. Guidance. Passion flowers symbolizes surrender, sacrifice, and the crucifixion of the ego. Passion flowers resembles the need to sacrifice in order to make space and move forward. The all-seeing double-headed owl symbolizes the great understanding perceived from both sides, whether it be upside down or inside out, and bestows goddess passion flower with unseen truths as she performs rituals for letting go. Owl is symbolic of discernment and able to light up what needs to be seen. Passion flower today might reflect the need to suspend actions that aren't aligned to your spiritual path. Are there certain decisions or action you've made that you must sacrifice in order to reassess your direction? Honor your intuition. It's okay if projects or original ideas come to an unexpected halt. Discernment is key to experience greater truth and opportunities. What you know now, you can't unknow. What you see now, you can't unsee. Okay. So there's no need to cling to old information, old situations, old relationships that you know and have known are no longer fitting on your path, because you are conjoining your physical path with your spiritual path. And this is the perfect time to do that. If there's no other time in life as a human to do it, now is the perfect time. So, again, release societal expectations. Society expects us to depend on these outward institutions, okay? Because these outward institutions have spent so much currency to learn about our inner world, so they can beat us to the punch, okay? So, just get your nice Jedi on and learn how to dodge. Okay, people? So, I'm gonna chat with y'all soon. I'm glad I finally got out of whatever funk and decided to come on here. Looking forward to chatting, and I'll talk to y'all soon, real soon, because the new moon is this week. See ya.